would like to pay lower New Jersey property taxes. I know I would. My name's Kim Brown, and I'm here today to talk to you about my idea to try to lower property taxes in the state of New Jersey. I look to Florida as a model for their method of collecting extra revenue to help offset their taxes. And in Florida, they imposed a tourist impact tax. And what this tax does, it helps to generate extra revenue for the state, which helps offset the taxes for the residents of Florida. So I pulled some statistics from Florida from their legislative page from 2005. And in 2005, their gross tourism revenue to the businesses was $62 billion. That's what the tourists paid to go visit Florida. From that, the taxes that were generated to the state of Florida were $3.7 billion. That's a lot of revenue to help offset taxes. This equated to approximately a 6% tax that the visitors to Florida paid. Now I have to note that this didn't stop people from still going to Florida. They still flock there year after year, but what's happening now is they're helping to offset their taxes. So I looked to New Jersey to see how I could fit this model to help us offset our taxes. And unfortunately, there were no statistics that could be found that actually tell you how many people visit New Jersey every year. So I looked at the casinos, and I went to the casino pages and I generated a list of how many hotel rooms there are in the major casinos. I didn't take into account any of the smaller hotels like the Red Roof Inn or the Sheraton or anything like that. I actually went to the casinos where people actually stay so they have the convenience to go down and gamble when they want, walk on the boardwalk when they want. So the New Jersey casinos have a total of 16,185 rooms that are available to be rented on a daily basis. I then took into account the casinos have a tendency to give out comps to their big heavy rollers. So I took off 10% for that, which left me with 14,566 rooms available every single day to be rented to any people that visited. I then took into account using a 4% tax. I didn't go 6% like they did in Florida. I went 4%. And then I factored in on a daily room rate of $100. Well, as we all know, in Atlantic City, a room could cost you a lot more than $100. But I used $100 just to make it easier to do the calculations. And then I multiplied those rooms by 365 days in the year. And I ended up just with my taxes on casino hotel rooms of a generated revenue for the state of New Jersey of $21,267,090. Now that's an awful lot of money for 1 year. Like I said, just based on a 4% tax, not including other areas in the state that you could possibly tax. You know, we are a big convention state, especially up north. We have a lot of people that come to some of the convention centers right outside of New York City. We have many seashore communities. So if you look, there's so many hotels in New Jersey that you can't even get a statistic to tell you how many total hotel rooms there are available. There's all the shore rental homes where you can rent a seashore home for a week. And those rooms are always, those houses are always rented. You never find a place where you can go this time of year to go get yourself a rental down at the shore, because these homes are already rented per week. Then you have car rentals that anyone coming to New Jersey, you know, not everything's close, so you would need to get a car so you could go and explore the shore or go to one of the amusement parks. And then there's theme park tickets. So all of these areas generate a lot of revenue for New Jersey. If you impose that tax, you can actually make billions and billions of dollars to help offset the taxes for the property owners in the state of New Jersey. Now some statistics I could get were 68% of the people that visit New Jersey are from other states within the United States. And there's 2% in addition to, that actually visit New Jersey from international countries. They'll come there and visit us. So that leaves us 30% of the people that visit New Jersey are residents. So really, there's not much of an impact on the residents of New Jersey. And quite honestly, I feel as though if I can afford to rent a shore home for a week at $1,000, I can afford to pay the $40 tax that will help to offset everybody else's taxes in the state of New Jersey, including mine. Because a $40 investment in a tax is a lot cheaper than a few $100s that may be tacked on to my taxes so to pay the bills within the state. So I think this is a great way to implement something that does not directly affect the residents. And there may be some people that say, oh, well, you know, by putting another tax in, you're scaring away tourism to the state. But Florida hasn't lost any visitors. The only time Florida saw it down, and it was quite honestly across the country, was in 2001 when we had 9/11. But other than that, tourism has been growing steadily, and especially since gas prices have now risen quite a bit, there's a lot of people in the tri-state area that flock to the Jersey shores because it's cheaper than trying to get on an airplane and fly somewhere or driving across country. So I think imposing a tourism impact tax is a great way to help the residents of this state realize reduced property taxes. Now, does anyone have any questions?
What makes property taxes so high?
Well, in New Jersey, the way our property taxes are devised is the bulk of your taxes go to help support education and schools. If you look at the big part of your tax bill, a lot of it is for your schools, whether it be a regional school or a high school.
When I write my check for the taxes, I pay it to the township. What do they do with it?
Well, if you get an opportunity to ever look at your tax bill, you'll see your tax bills broken down by the different jurisdictions. What the township does is they serve as the tax collection agency, and then they disperse those taxes to what may be the county or the schools, the library, open space, whatever there is that makes up your bill. That's where those taxes get dispersed to. The township does not keep all of that. They usually are responsible for a very small fraction of their taxes. Are there any other questions?
With the numbers that you use coming from Atlantic City, how would you determine how that would be spread across the state?
Well, in my opinion, I think that should go in to help offset the taxes for everybody. Go into the general coffers that make up the revenues for school, for example. You know, New Jersey, unfortunately, has a very poor funding area when it comes to schools because a bulk of the money gets split between 30 districts, and then the rest of the 560-some districts that are left in the state only have a very small amount of money that they have to do to be able to fund education. So I think the big place for that money to go would be go into education, because since that makes up the bulk of your property taxes, that would be the best place to start to reduce the property taxes. Are there any other questions? Thank you very much for coming today. I appreciate your help.